So poops, do you remember the human trash we were talking about the other day? Well, it looks like the trash has gone and taken itself out. Recap for those of you who don't remember what happened. Girl got stabbed 200 times at BU4. Mom gave an interview, spoke in Chinese.
Also Malay and English, though he didn't notice.
Human trash goes and writes this status, sharing it with the world. Before Sapoop makes a video, bunch of other people make videos, and before you know it, here we are with our new Sham Muhammad Sidek. No more cheerful family locked profile. Goodbye tone deaf comment, baby bathwater and all. Well, I guess he wasn't down with the whole people taking screenshots of his family, sharing them across different social media platforms, angry message after angry message. Sure hope he didn't get any threats, but yeah, he probably did. And well, them's the breaks. To be totally fair, like, the guy was basically asking for it. That was probably one of the most sus possible responses that somebody could have ever made towards a grieving mother who today sent off Xingxuan with blue colored balloons being released into the sky. Rest in peace, and I hope that you're in a better place. But anyway, yeah, so our Sapoop has gone off the grid. Completely locked profile, no longer sharing all of his standard Walaun Facebook posts one after another. And it just made me think, you know, like, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? I wouldn't call this a good thing that's happened because of this entire very traumatic case, but I think something that's encouraging is the way that we've seen a lot of people come out and then basically respond to all of these racist comments that point out that the mother allegedly should be speaking Malay out there. We saw it on Facebook quite a lot, and interestingly, we're seeing it on TikTok at the moment, where if your rage hasn't been satisfied by human trash just yet, you can go right ahead onto Sina Harian's TikTok right now and have a look at the comments right there, where you're gonna see all of these people saying exactly the same thing over and over again. I mean, yeah, just like, look at all of this right here, and you're gonna see the human trash comments all appear one after another. These kinds of people definitely need to be exposed, absolutely, on a larger scale, and it needs to be more normalized here and there. But almost all of the replies have more likes compared to the actual ones, and anyway, I think it's great that this new culture is coming up, but I think something to note is that a lot of these accounts are actually like fake accounts, like they don't actually have profile pictures or anything. And I think there's a couple of possible explanations for that. I guess there's one possibility right here, which is that people are realizing that, well, they're gonna screenshot and people are gonna be like sending out pictures of their faces left, right, front, and center. So every single one of them can become like our beloved human trash and then go to the dark side or something like that. I don't know how good that actually is for human society. I mean, like, it could be a bad thing for all we know. But it's nice to think about how maybe some of these people are actually, for the very first time in their lives, feeling fear. But there's another second, a bit more sinister possibility though, which is that there are all these fake accounts and somehow or another, somebody or something out there is just like putting these out to try and divide us by putting out comments that are stupid, telling us to so-called cakap Melayu, because they know that this is the kind of thing that breaks people apart, which obviously people have started to respond to in a rather nice way, I must say. That shows, I guess, that Malaysians somehow or another know how to actually respond to things like these in a way that actually makes sense. I think, at the very least, it's kind of encouraging and it's something good to be looking at. But yeah, back to the human trash for a bit. I don't know, bro, like, it seems almost like we forced him to the dark side to take himself out of circulation, and maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, maybe it's a morally questionable thing, that somehow you have people out there making stupid comments, getting silenced by the masses, or maybe he wasn't getting silenced per se, but maybe he was just facing the consequences of his actions. If ever he happens to go cray-cray or something like that, at the very least, I guess you would know exactly who you're dealing with, which is different from all of these fake accounts, or at least accounts with no pictures because they have no accountability and stuff like that. But like, I heard that Fahmi and the MCMC want to introduce eKYC at a later point, which basically means that if you have a social media account, then there's going to be a real ID link to it. So they actually know who is linked to every single social media account at any given point right here, which some people think is a control tactic, but honestly, I think might actually be a good thing, because I care about accountability on social media. Really, absolutely. And I absolutely think that people should, at the very least, learn how to be accountable for their words, specifically their words, and to be able to defend themselves. See, like, there's a difference between having freedom of speech to say whatever you want and then having to face the consequences as compared to having freedom of speech but then just completely taking away all accountability. I mean, like, in some cases it can be good, like for example maybe you want to like whistleblow or something like that, but it can also be used for like cyberbullying, trolling, and a whole range of other things like that. So I'm sure that a lot of people in society are gonna say, oh, you know, like they're gonna abuse this,
and you have no idea what other administrations are going to do.
but there's actually a legitimate use for it. And frankly, at least personally, I would be totally for it. So it makes me wonder about the kind of society that you get when you have all the people who might have become Shah Muhammad Siddiqs basically just silencing themselves, and where they normally just take it out anonymously or repress the anger inside them, suddenly they find that no matter where it is that they try to go to express their racism, basically they can't do a single thing. I don't know what's gonna happen, man. Like, are they gonna get depression or something? Is the feeling gonna get worse? I feel like it's kind of inconclusive because a lot of people, they assume that like if you release your anger then you stop being angry, but there's research that actually shows that it's more like a feedback loop. It's like if you actually start shouting at someone or you start getting angry, you can actually end up strengthening that anger, which makes it worse along the way. So I don't know what's actually gonna happen if you just like stop every single possible racist comment right at the source, no matter where it is that you go. Like, what would that actually do to society? Would it actually be a good thing or would it be a bad thing? It's hard to say. Either way, the human trash has taken itself out and it has gone to the dark side. You can call it a victory, call it a loss, call it whatever it is that you want. Either way, he has crashed out. But let me know what you think this is down in the comments. That's all I have to say about that, and bye.